We're really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that'll never ever end.
A very fired up Alexa Bliss was once again the main event segment of Monday Night Raw. Love to see it. Absolutely. To be fair, a really good Raw. But this is things you might have missed. And before we get into the main bulk of this video, make sure you've liked the video. And if you are new, hit the subscribe button. Help out the channel. It was once again Alexa Bliss sat in the Firefly funhouse. The Pinnacle was there, and it was quite interesting because this time, once again, she spun that box that she had in her hands, and we heard her say, "Not yet." And we gotta think from that, he's coming. I'm so excited for the Fiend's return. I'm sure most of you know that already, but it's genuinely true. But an interesting thing you might have missed, this week, we got an extra line to the song Pop Goes the Weasel. When Alexa Bliss turned the handle, we got to the second line out of pretty much 3. So it's going to be interesting. When she spins that handle for the 3rd time, is that the time that the Fiend returns? Last time was only 1. This week was 2. Could next week be 3? Now, earlier on Raw, we did get a recap of everything that's happened in the feud between Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, Randy Orton and Alexa Bliss, which makes so much sense considering WWE uploaded an entire playlist of the transformation of Alexa Bliss to YouTube earlier on today. But at the very start of this video, they talk about the horror show at Extreme Rules and Alexa Bliss beckons Braun Strowman. Now, this is interesting because we've always debated this, whether this was Alexa Bliss as Sister Abigail or Sister Abigail as Alexa Bliss. We know this was a portrayal of Abby. We know that's the fact. The fact that they're now saying this is part of her transformation, that becomes a whole lot more interesting. If this was the real Alexa Bliss, then we can kind of guess with everything we've seen in recent weeks that this was some kind of possession. If that's the case, why did The Fiend attack Alexa Bliss? Was this all a ruse the whole time? Was she always with him, even at Extreme Rules? It does make you wonder. It really does. I'm interested. I want to see how they develop this. Obviously, this week on Raw, in a backstage interview with AJ Styles, the new WWE employee, Kevin Patrick, who, if you don't know, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I absolutely love Kevin Patrick. No idea who he is, but he is a new WWE employee. AJ Styles called Alexa Bliss a witch. Straight up said she was a witch. He said she was doing voodoo stuff to Randy Orton, etc. And that's really interesting because we have been wondering, is this witchcraft? Is this voodoo, as AJ Styles called it? And I think with that kind of comment being thrown around, WWE are definitely telling us it is. Obviously, Randy Orton took exception to this and basically challenged AJ Styles. Randy Orton was like, you think it's funny about someone having their mind messed with and all that stuff? And you know what? It's really good for Randy Orton to kind of get defensive about seemingly looking weak to other WWE superstars. And again, I want to give a massive shout out to Kevin Patrick. We are Kevin Patrick fans right now on the C Wrestling YouTube channel. This led to a match between Randy Orton and AJ Styles that was the main event match for Monday Night Raw. And there was some similarities in Randy Orton's entrance this week to a certain Fiend. The way he walked to the ring slightly sideways. He put his hands on his head like he was suffering the same pain the Fiend feels on his entrance in the ring. And of course, he done his whole thing with the fireworks coming down, posing in the corner. But he seemed very disfocused. He seemed very agitated about nothing. Very focused, almost like the Fiend. Meaning we have to ask the question, what and who is this Randy Orton? Is this Randy Orton the Randy Orton that's possessed? Is there just one Randy Orton who could possibly be possessed whenever Alexa Bliss feels like it? That's distinctly possible. When it comes to magic and voodoo, anything is possible. Of course, we saw Alexa Bliss light a match after she said not yet. Very interestingly, she blew it out very, very eerily similar to the way Bray Wyatt used to blow out his lantern. So obviously a nice little throwback there from Alexa Bliss to the old Wyatt family kind of days. This obviously led to a Kane-like explosion at ringside. Of course, the ring post burst into flames. The referee, Randy Orton, no idea what was happening. I love that. I love the idea that Alexa lit a match and could blow up the ring from there. And at least one show of wrestling ended with an explosion this week. And it's super cool. We always talk about the acting ability of Alexa Bliss, and I've definitely praised that every time. But we have to give it to Randy Orton as well. Randy Orton was in the ring with the black stuff coming out of his mouth, and he genuinely looked like a scared man. This is not a role Randy Orton is used to playing in WWE. But it is now time for the
Yowie Wowie
moment of the week. And of course, this week it goes to the new entrance for the new almighty WWE champion, Bobby Lashley. I really love this. The fact that they've given him this new impactful entrance. Everyone's raving about it on Twitter. And of course, people love it. And the great thing is, it makes him look cool. This right now is Lashley's era. WWE are in the Thunderdome. Thunder, lightning, it makes sense. This is Bobby Lashley's time for sure. But I won't lie, there were some other Yowie Wowie moments that deserved the honourable mention of Reginald with Nia Jax. And of course the commentary team saying that this was an explosive Raw. Finally! I can't do Puppet Watch this week, so I had to shout something. But finally, WrestleMania is back in business. And my God, did they not let you forget it on Raw? But of course, it's because WrestleMania tickets go on sale next Tuesday, March 16th. Of course, if you are attending WrestleMania, let me know in the comment section down below. Hopefully, some of you do get to go. It's going to be very different this year, of course. But nonetheless, great for those that get to go and be in attendance for the grandest show of the year. Little Miss Bliss has had some brand new Topps digital trading cards been made available from Topps Slam app. Of course, this week. We seemingly do these weekly now, but they are fun. I know some of you guys love them, so I want to always try and include them. But this is not all Alexa Bliss has had released this week. Of course, I'm talking about The Fury, the new theme song for Alexa Bliss. Of course, it is available on YouTube as of last Wednesday and iTunes and everywhere else from Friday this past week. So it's available right now to download if you haven't already. It's actually super good. I've had so many requests to react to it or do something about it. And the problem is music will get me copyright striked in a moment. WWE, Alexa Bliss, whoever it is that performs this music, if you ever watch this video, just send me a DM, tell me it's fine, and I'll do it. I will. I love this theme song. It's really, really cool. So if you haven't already, make sure you go and check it out. But Raw this week ended with Alexa Bliss laughing her head off at a very scared Viper. I absolutely love that. Next week is the go-home show for Fastlane. We don't know if they're going to do Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton, but it does make sense at this stage. We know that that's been rumoured. Whether Vince McMahon wants to change his mind, whether he doesn't like this. We know he doesn't always like intergender wrestling. But it kind of feels like she can do anything. Right now, she's not even in the arena, and she was able to have Randy Orton lose a match tonight on Raw. I think as long as you give these two some kind of cinematic element to their match, it would work perfectly. Of course, if it was a straight up fight, no, don't do it. But that's not what we're trying to book here. And I think WWE know that. And that's maybe why they're going in this direction. I am excited to see what they do for Fastlane. Obviously, the rumour is still Randy Orton versus The Fiend at WrestleMania, which I think obviously needs to happen at this stage. But putting Alexa Bliss in that Fastlane role could be really, really cool. Something you don't see often. But for now, I think the next week has to be spent researching this box. Obviously, we don't know what it actually is. It's some kind of music box, a Jack in the Box kind of thing. But when you're looking at witchcraft and voodooism, Is there something it represents? We know what the pinnacle means. The red lines mean anything. Any of that stuff. And if you're a funhouse theorist, get on it. I will be looking as of tomorrow morning. Obviously, Raw finished about half an hour ago at the time of recording this. So obviously, I haven't looked yet. But I think the fact that she's whispering to it, she's talking to it, you kind of say that maybe the Fiend is inside of this box. Maybe this box is how she brings back the Fiend. If that's the case, how? What is it? Is it something that they've taken from a movie? I don't know. Maybe you do. If you do, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you think there's anything else I might have missed from this week's Monday Night Raw, let me know down below. Please make sure you like the video. It genuinely does make the world of difference. And if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. You can always DM me as well on Twitter at CWrestlingUK. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you as always next time. Peace!